5, 4, 3, 2.
Crank it, Jerry.
Welcome to Into the Wild, the official podcast of the Washington Wild Pigs.
What do you hear? What do you say?
It's the best sports podcast in the world. Wait, is that true?
If you're committed enough, you can make any story. I once convinced a woman that I was Kevin Costner, and it worked because I believed it.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Dawson.
Did you get the popcorn?
Welcome back to the Wild Things Baseball Network post-game show and the Into the Wild podcast highlights for May 15th, 2024. And again, for the podcast audience, you're getting this with the highlights for the post-game viewing or listening audience. You're going to hear some pauses and funky wording of things that's just for the post-game edit. Just bear with me. It was New England that scored the first 3 runs of the game tonight. In the bottom of the first inning, Jake Boone had an RBI, or a leadoff double, rather. He would stay at second base after a bunting out by Austin White, the next batter. Jalen Garcia, with Boone taking off for third base, would flare a single into right field. Boone would get up from his dive in the third and come around to score, made it 1-0 New England. A few batters later, Ramon Jimenez hit an RBI single through the left side that made it 2-0 New England. In the bottom of the second, Austin White, the left fielder and former New Jersey Jackal, would drive in Jake Boone, who had reached on a fielder's choice, taken second base by Steele, and scored on the Austin White base hit to make it 3-0 New England. That's when Washington would finally crack through. After having 4 hits and 3 runners left on base in the first 2 innings, the Wild Things got a leadoff walk to Caleb McNeely. He would go to second base during the Tommy Caulfield plate appearance. It was a wild pitch that sent him there. A ground out by Caulfield put McNeely at third base for Quincy Lattimore. It's one out in the top of the third. The lefty home to Lattimore and a ground ball back up the middle, base hit. 3-1 as McNeely comes across to score. Lattimore's RBI single would make it a 3-1 game, and then Lattimore himself would score from third base after going there on an Andrew Check double, the first of his 2 doubles tonight, on a Tyreek Reed sacrifice fly. That made it 3-2. Run at this point. Here's the 0-1, and it's in the air to straightaway center, arcing a little bit to left center now. Should be deep enough. Garcia back to make the catch. He makes the catch. Check will not tag. Lattimore will, and it's a sacrifice fly to center field for Tyreek Reed to make it 3-2. In the 4th inning, Washington would grab 2 more. Back-to-back strikeouts of Evan Berkey and Carson Clowers led to a Caleb McNeely single. He'd steal second base again like last night with Caulfield on the bases. It did not matter where McNeely was on the bases because Tommy Caulfield, with a 1-1 count, stepped to the plate and delivered his second home run of the 2024 season. 1-1 to Caulfield in the air to right center field. This is cranked pretty well. Galvin back to the track, leaping at the wall. He can't bring it back. Tommy Caulfield has his second, and it gives Washington a 4-3 lead as it's a 2-run shot in the 4th. Couple to 2-out RBI for Caulfield on the big swing. He's driven in 4 now on the year, and Washington leads by a run. From Andrew Check on his 5th home run in as many games. 5 home runs in 5 games to start the season for Andrew Check as he delivered the home run to right field that made it a 5-3 lead, or a 5-4 lead for Washington. Here's the 3-1 from Goggin home to him. And Check in the air to right. Is this 5 consecutive games to start the year with a home run? You betcha. Andrew Check, absolutely. 3 legs of the cycle and 3 plate appearances, and Washington has the lead again as he salutes the bullpen. It is 5-4. That would be because New England scored a run in the bottom of the 4th inning on an RBI double by Austin White, so that's what brought the Andrew Check home run to allow it to go to Washington 5 and New England 4. A couple of balls that got by J.C. Santini, a wild pitch, a pass ball, and another wild pitch would allow Brady West to score in the 5th inning. That tied the game at 5 apiece. And then in the top of the 6th inning, Washington pulled ahead for good with a 4-run top of the 6th inning, an RBI double by Andrew Check. Williamson, the lefties, pitch home. The Check is roped down the right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Caulfield around third to score. Quincy Lattimore will be held. Check stops at second. Another two-bagger and an RBI for Check to give Washington the lead. This guy won't stop hitting. That is a frozen rope at 103-2 off the bat from Check. A two-run triple by Robert Chayka, his first three-bagger of the year. 2-on. The pitch from Williamson to Chayka. In the air to straightaway center, hit pretty well. Center fielder Garcia ranging back, still going, reaches, can't make the catch, it's down. Robert Chayka hustling around second. He is going to pull his way into third base. Throw comes there, it's late. A two-run triple. And Washington has an 8-5 lead. And a wild pitch, rather a passed ball, brought home the 9th run of the game for the Washington Wild Things, who would add a run in the top of the 7th as well. An RBI single by Tommy Caulfield that made it 10-5 in favor of the Wild Things. Pitch to Caulfield. Grounded, right side, through, base hit. Clowers will score, it's 10-5. Youngju Kim to scoreless innings. The game would be halted by rain at the bottom of the 7th inning, and for the purposes of what we're doing right now, it was called after 7 innings and official at 10-5 in favor of Washington. For the Wild Things, it's 10 runs on 15 hits, no errors, and the Wild Things left 7, 8, 10 on base. For the New England Knockouts, the Knockouts go 5 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, and New England left 4, 5, 6, 8 runners on base in the middle game tonight. The winning pitcher is Jordan DiValerio. He is 1-0. The loser tonight is Dan Goggin. He falls to 0-1, and there is no save in this game. Time of the game, if you count to the start of the rain delay, would be a total of, math quick, 33 plus 11, 44 plus 2 hours and 44 minutes. And I don't have the attendance because it has not yet been announced, but it was not great for the New England Knockouts tonight. We'll see if they can draw a little bit better of a crowd tomorrow for the series finale. And as we speak, this game has officially been called by our umpiring crew on the field. It is a final ball game. Washington wins it by a final of 10-5 in a rain-shortened 7-inning contest tonight. Dario Frigio takes the mound for Washington tomorrow in what will be the series finale, if it is weather permitting and played, at 6:30 p.m. Frigio 0-1 with a 13.50 ERA after 2 innings in his first start, faces Richard Brito, 0-0 with a 9 earned run average on the year for the New England Knockouts. The series concludes then. We will talk to you then on the Wild Things Baseball Network. With this game called, that's it. Final score, Washington 10 and New England 5-7. And you heard it or watched it on the Wild Things Baseball Network.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.